The key to my exercise program is this one simple truth. I hate my body.
Oh, the body positivity movement. I love that this movement is arguably going to be responsible for more deaths than most movements in history. Given that obesity and its related diseases, all entirely preventable, I'd like to remind you, kills roughly 300,000 Americans per year, the death toll is only going to rise the longer this health at every size shit continues. Not that I mind. The sooner you shuffle off the mortal coil, the sooner my coworkers get to fry your lardy carcass down in Circle 3. Without further ado, my minions, I present to you the subject of today's entertainment, entitled, Can We Make Showing a Before Picture Illegal, Please? By Sky Marcana, a self-styled, I see. She is a clothing designer, and fat people take up more fabric and have more expensive clothing. This isn't altruism, this is greed. I like the way this is going so far. As I watched a woman rip her body apart verbally, proving to her viewers she needed to get thin, something clicked for me. The cash register in your mind? We watch others feel so badly about the before picture, not realizing someone else could want to look that way. The before picture could be someone's goal weight, meanwhile the person is ripping it apart and criticizing it. Oh fucking hell. Really? People aren't allowed to be proud of their progress and insult themselves because it might make someone else feel insecure? I retract my previous statement about liking the direction of this article. You're not responsible for somebody else's insecurities. If someone has a problem with someone else ripping apart their own before photo because they would love to look like that before photo, that is their own fucking problem. Get off the couch, put down the fork, put in some work and discipline. Sweet demonic mother, what is wrong with you? For instance, I saw someone completely self-loathe verbally showing a before look at themselves. They were so grossed out with themselves, I thought, no, that's not right. Wrong. That individual has every right to be grossed out with themselves if they want to be. If someone drops 200 pounds and is now a healthy weight, who the fuck do you think you are to police their opinion of their former selves? You do not matter. Your thoughts on the matter do not matter. It's okay to want improvement, but attacking yourself in front of others causes other people to see themselves in a negative way as well. Tough shit. Grow some thicker skin to go with those thicker thighs, or get your ass on a treadmill. Again, you are not responsible for other people's negative opinions about themselves. Maybe you can relate. If you watch somebody get all negative and point out flaws, you start to wonder about your own body. And this is bad why? It's called motivation, you nitwit. You hang around people who are what you want to be in the hopes that it motivates you to do better. A healthy person worrying about 5 pounds might motivate you to attempt to work off the extra 50. Were you dropped on your head as a child? Have you noticed when you are hanging out with someone you think is beautiful and they start being self-critical, you start to think, well, what does she think of me? Oh God, why would their opinion of you mean jack shit? Is your self-worth so wrapped up in other people's opinions of you? You are a sad excuse for a human being if that's true. It's a terrible loop of body shaming. Just because you body shame yourself does not make it okay. Yes it does. Free agency and all that. You are, in a sense, body shaming all women if you shame yourself. Oh, fuck you. Seriously. You are in no way responsible for how someone else feels about themselves if you do nothing more but criticize yourself. Free agency. If someone wants to critique their before photo and you don't like it, change the channel or walk away. Do not attempt to restrict their speech because it hurts your fifis. Good God, I'm only one paragraph in and I seriously want to hang myself by my tail. This lady is seriously demented. I think we need to point out our assets, if anything. Isn't the problem you have too much asset to which to point? We live in an appearance-based culture, but hating on yourself is part of the problem. You live in an appearance-based culture because humans are visual animals. Roughly 55% of human communication is body language alone. Your first impression of someone is how they look, and instinctively you assess whether someone is a good potential mate or a potential rival. This is just how you were wired. It's not a bad thing in and of itself. Way back in high school, I met a girl with an eating disorder, and almost every day she wouldn't eat much and would say, "I am so fat." She was tiny, and all I could think of was, what does that make the rest of us if you think you are fat? Well, that makes you an incredible narcissist and just another example of how much of a horrid human being you are. This girl has a serious mental disorder, and you are worried about yourself? She needs to be told she is unhealthy because she is starving herself and it will kill her. You, on the other hand, need a serious dose of fucking perspective. At such an impressionable age, it was not a great influence. You choose who you are, not anyone else. Be your own person. I think, as adult women, we should keep our insecurities to ourselves the best we can. Agreed! Wholeheartedly agreed! Because the insecurities you are verbalizing will only influence more women to focus on appearance. God damn it! Just when I thought you were going to redeem yourself and head in a good direction, you completely derail yourself. Looking at a before photo of yourself and commenting on your progress is not being insecure. Getting worked up into a tissy because someone else critiqued their own before photo is being insecure. Talk about projection. The truth is, we need to make it less of an issue by minimizing the amount of time we think about it and talk about it. You can spend less time talking about it and be as fat as you want to be, but if someone else wants to talk about it, you have absolutely no call to stop them. Your choices boil down to not listening and, well, that's about it. You can not listen by changing the channel, by walking away, or just let your mind drift into sweet nothingness as your friends chatter about their progress, desperately looking for affirmation that they are doing the right thing. And instead of being such a self-centered cunt, you should perhaps encourage them in their quest to be more healthy. And if it makes you feel bad because you are such a lard ass, get on a fucking treadmill. You have no one to blame but yourself for your physical condition. Understandably, health should come first. Eating well and exercise are top priority. But all this negative shit about our bodies is not emotionally healthy at all. No, not emotionally healthy is being so focused on yourself that you can't see that these people are proud of their hard work and rightfully so. It is not easy to lose weight and they should be allowed to revel in their victories. The before look at all the factuals is just another form of body shaming. No, it isn't. This is an issue with men and women, but because I am a woman, I am speaking directly to the ones who I know speak negative crap about the female body. Fat, thin, medium, and so on. Believe it or not, fat bodies and unhealthily thin bodies are negative. Pussyfooting around that helps no one. If someone is morbidly obese, they need to accept that and do something about it. If someone is anorexic and rail thin, they also need help. These are both very negative and need to be identified as such. Call a spade a fucking spade and move on with the acceptance portion instead of wallowing in denial. Only then can you do something about it. It's all a bunch of appearance-focused negativity that does not help anyone feel confident. Except the person who is confident enough to show and critique their before photo, you twit. Looking at their progress can help them be motivated to do more. Confidence and living a healthy lifestyle come from daily movements toward balanced eating and activity. Maybe for you. Feeling good about your appearance is about acceptance, joy, and about living your life focused on meaningful relationships with others, but especially yourself. And what about living a life focused on meaningful relationships means you can't celebrate your progress and critique your past. Acknowledging how bad you were before is one way to ensure you don't let yourself get back there. And what in the fuck would you know about meaningful relationships when you can't stand to see someone celebrating their victory over their own sloth and gluttony? I feel sorry for any of your friends that actually work on their appearance because apparently they can't talk about it around you for fear of triggering your insecurities and sending you into a shame spiral straight into a carton of Haagen-Dazs. Let's all join and stop hating on our before pictures. No! Let people say whatever the fuck they want to say, and that includes looking at their before photos and thinking, God damn, I was a fat ass. Glad I started eating healthier and getting into a shape that isn't described by the words gelatinous mass. Let's remember that each of us change with the seasons. Your friend could be stressed, going through a life change, or having hormone issues. So help your friend, my dear lady. Ask them if they are having issues. Ask them if they need help. If they are, be a decent human and help them. Be sensitive and caring, but if they don't tell you they are having issues, then say whatever the fuck you want, including lambasting your before photo. If they don't let you know they are having problems, it is not your job to cater to their potential feelings or issues. Let's find more understanding for each other, more compassion for the changes we face with life, but most of all, let's have patience with our bodies and life experiences. Okay, how is any of this related to someone critiquing themselves? They aren't being a catty bitch to someone else, they are discussing themselves. How the hell did you make the jump in your brain from someone discussing their own before photo to "this affects me deeply"? We are all in this together, and we can all support and help each other reach goals in a nice, friendly way. Criticizing yourself publicly or amongst friends is not the answer. It might not be the answer to you, but you aren't the fucking world, and not everyone is like you. You don't get to run things or tell people how to think or what to say. You are not the end-all, be-all of self-improvement. How is critiquing yourself not being friendly to others or not supporting others? Critiquing yourself is just that, critiquing yourself. Saying "I used to be so fat" is not saying you're fat, even if you are the same weight as they were in their before photo. You might infer that you are fat because they said that, but that is your inference and your problem. Wow, okay, done with that. Did not expect that to go as long as it did. For a narcissist, this lady has some seriously dangerous insecurities. Everything is about her, but at the same time, it's all negative. I can only imagine how fucked up her little life must be if she goes through it with the same outlook that is on display in this article. I was wrong about the greed thing from the beginning. She's too damaged to be greedy. You can say whatever it is you want to say about yourself. If you want to display a before photo and point out every flaw, every hint of cellulite, have at it. If it makes other people feel like shit, not your problem. Each and every person has the free agency to do and say what they please as long as they are not directly acting on someone else minus their permission. Miss Marcano is an authoritarian cunt and needs to get over herself before everyone else around her does, and she finds herself alone with nothing but her insecurities and personal demons to whisper in her ear. With that, I bid you adieu. Via cum diablos, amici me.